Hello everybody, Half Full Monty here for my next video here. So what we're going to do today is we're going to compare Flitz, F-L-I-T-Z, metal, plastic, and fiberglass polish, restores paint, does everything from Amazon, other places. Say it's great stuff, and I've used it on my knives and axes and stuff, and it's pretty good polish. And then the next competitor will be the Case Paste knife polish, which comes highly recommended by knife people. And anyway, I haven't used this, and we'll see how we're going to do here. All right, I've got my project axe I'm working on. You might, it's a Plum Victory. I'm gonna make a throwing axe out of it, I believe, if my hand will ever get here. I've done about all that I'm planning on doing as far as cleaning it up. I wire brushed it, and then I got the filed on it, and then I used sandpaper and did the 40 up to 5,000 grit to get the mirror as best you can on a axe head that was produced between 1940 and 1966, I believe. But anyway, I have a couple other items here just in case. So without further ado, we'll do one side with one and one side with the other. So we'll start out with the Flitz, F-L-I-T-Z. Probably mispronouncing that. And here we go. I'm using a microsite towel to apply it. And what I usually do is I just rub it on there and keep rubbing it until it comes off, and I keep changing my rag to get the whatever I get off of it. I probably should have used a tarnished item. I'd have to go look for a tarnished item. Kind of tend to polish my stuff, especially my knives and axe, my tools. I used to not take care of my tools when I was mechanicing back in the day. I rode those things hard and put them away wet. But I spent a lot of money on tools. I think I'd take care of them. Snap-on. Some Madco and Mac. All right, so you can see the, okay, so set that just like that, and now we'll go for this stuff right here. There's people that swear by this stuff. They would not use anything. Oop, I'm gonna have to punch a hole in it. Ah, there we go. there's a little trick for you. Most everything that comes with a tube or anything with a little metal over the end, the cap has a little point on it that if you turn it over and stick it in there, they make it that way. Little known fact there, a factoid. So here we go. Just gonna put that, that's a bunch right there. I ought to, hope everybody had a good Father's Day. I did. Went to actually an axe throwing venue. It's the second time I've been to an axe throwing venue. And of course, it's the same one. I was going to go to a different one the next time. But where we live, they're 10 miles or so away. I got way too much on this one. So I guess I better go back and put more on the other to be fair. And it was already shining, so I know unless this stuff just eats the metal off of it that it's going to be shiny when I get through. There we go. I've got a handle ordered from Beaver, it's called Beaver Tooth, something or other, trading post or something. Anyway, all those axe places you get spoiled by Amazon and all those other places about, I'll get it to you the next day and all that. But it seems a long time. I usually, by the time I finish getting the head ready, the axe handle's already here. But this one here, you know, I guess it was in better shape. So I'm going to let that set for just a minute, and I'm not going to bore you. I'll come back. All right, let me let that set for a couple of minutes. I got another microsite towel. That way we can see what comes off of it when we're polishing here. So gonna I guess you could get a buffer and buff it. You can see mainly I've seen people that use this case stuff or the knife people, and like I said, it has let me see, quite a following. And I actually bought this from online, but I bought it from the, wait for it here, Smoky Mountain Knife Works Incorporated. It's supposed to be the biggest knife store in the United States, and maybe even the world, I don't know. If I just seen it online, I wish I knew where it was at. A couple of years ago, I was in Tennessee, and it is Tennessee, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's in Tennessee. But it'd been an interesting little stop. Of course, my wife would have been bored to tears. All right, so that was the Flitz side. It's the one that's got the plum logo on it and victory on it. The victory is World War II. A lot of stuff was called victory. You know, people made stuff. People had victory gardens because they rationed meat and vegetables, all kinds of stuff. My parents, they couldn't get tires, rubber, because of the war effort. And they would get their, I guess it was a Model T or Model A, whatever it was, car that they had. And they would take the tires off of it and put it on the railroad tracks where they could go from this one little town in central Texas to the next one where the action was, the bigger town. Because they couldn't afford tires, or they couldn't afford, you just couldn't get it, you know. It was like meat, eggs, bread, everything was kind of rationed. Can you imagine that happening now? You know, the government telling us citizens that, hey, you know, you can't have any steak, any meat, or whatever you were wanting. You can't get tires for your car. So, like I said, you're probably not going to be able to tell a whole lot. I guess it is a bit better, but the story is on, you saw how shiny it was to start with, but you can see what got off of it. Now we'll do the case paste side. I think it's doing about the same thing. And I guess you could also get some jeweler's rouge and put that on there and polish it off. I've done that before. That stuff works pretty good. This stuff is not too expensive. I don't know, maybe $10 or so a tube. I don't really remember. So yeah, at the axe throwing venue, instead of having a slice of a log out there throwing at, they have a for real axe throwing target. They had little bitty carpenter's axe or whatever like this, like the Ace Hardware, the $20 ones. They actually work great, except for in my case, they the handles are like 14 inches or maybe less, and for some reason that's kind of short. I have to finagle it to get it to throw right short distance. I like a handle that's at 16 inches at least. rubber down real good. And if you're I don't know, obsessive compulsive, I guess, on stuff like this, if you your knife or your axe blade here, I think they have wax and stuff people put on them, but it helps keep the well, I've been told, helps keep it from developing, getting material on it, sticking to it, and what have you, especially axe throwing and pine and stuff, it sticks to it. Makes it easier to get that off, because any of that material that's on there, then you'll get moisture on it, and then you've got rust. And the rust will start eating the metal, pitting it. And if you ever cut yourself with something rusty, it's not good. You better make sure you had your tetanus shots up to date, which is pretty amazing. I had an uncle that died as a young man. It was a long time ago. But he was playing in the cattle lot. And he stepped on I guess it was a horseshoe nail or something. It was a rusty nail. And of course they pulled it out. And then back then, if you did it, they'd put coal oil or kerosene on wounds like that, which is like blood poison, I would think. But anyway, he got lockjaw tetanus. Tetanus shots, they hadn't invented them yet, and even if they did, they probably wouldn't have them out in the middle of Central Texas back in the early 1900s. Okay, so he got lockjaw, and my aunts and uncles that were alive at that time remember it vividly, because it was an awful way to go. I mean, they've knocked part of his teeth out and try to pour stuff down his throat. I guess you swell up and close up your throat. You run a high fever, I guess, and among other things. It was supposed to be a horrible way to go, but anyway. Well, guys, I can't tell any difference. But as far as the stuff that came off, you know, it kind of looked to me like this fit stuff. It might be this that will stick, but I got more black stuff off with this, I think, than the case. But I think they both serve the same purpose. So I'm gonna call it a draw. I don't know if this stuff is available on Amazon. This stuff is. So, you know, if you're a Prime, you don't have to eat freight or any shipping. I bought a sheath for a case knife from these people too at the same time. And yeah, I don't remember. It wasn't the whole thing together. They might have had a deal with free shipping. I don't even remember, but it wasn't much. But that seems to be a really good place to, if you're online shopping, you might want to check that place out. It's the Smoky Mountain Knife Works. And if you're ever around that, Google it. Look at their site. I mean, it's like Cabela's or something, except for it's just knives and stuff, just knife stuff. They got other stuff too, but they got every kind of knife known to man. And they sell some axes and some other stuff. But anyway, it does what it's supposed to do. Both of them do. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching, and I want to thank everybody for the views, the subscriptions, the comments, all of them. I would ask you please to share, like, and if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. It helps my channel. I'm trying to build it up, and it's going, but any help would help. And if you're leaving home and you can just put me on and play all for your dogs, your animals to watch and listen to. I have a very calming voice for animals. Okay, dogs just love me. They follow me around, especially when I'm eating. But anyway, that's it for today. Half Full Monty out.